Hi kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday, coming to you yet again at about, what time is it? Nearly 2 AM on a Monday night. Again, Marvin stuff this week. There are now only 12 weeks to go before the proposed date for Cardiff International Tattoo Con, which I'm hosting and hopefully bringing Marvin with me. So, what have we done since last week's video? I have had a real nightmare with this thing. My 3D printer, you can see I've moved it up onto a table now. It's actually near the boiler, but it's actually warmer and in the corner of the room where I'm hoping the temperature will be a bit warmer than it was when it was on the floor, because what was happening was every time I printed something, the corners would lift up because I think the plastic was cooling down too quickly because of drafts. Anyway, I did manage to print one sort of forearm stroke wrist piece, and here it is. It's connected to the rest of the forearm at the moment, but the piece I printed, if I take this off, is from here up. Now this managed to print okay once I glued the blooming thing to the bed. I managed to print this way on the bed, so from bottom to top. That way it used very little support material, and the top is perfectly level, no curving like we get with this horrible, the curving on that, you know. This is dead straight. You look at the difference. Look at that. Anyway, weirdly enough, I managed to get the printer to print straight onto the glass bed for the first time. Doesn't normally like to do that. As you'll see, I put masking tape back down on this because I tried and tried and tried tonight. Did about 10 or 15 attempts, it kept failing. Kept having to throw stuff in the bin and start again. That's why it's 2 AM and it's only starting to print another one of these. Obviously flipped from left to right to fit the other arm. This is actually in really good quality nick now, considering I managed to save it. So, if that one prints fine, could still cock up spectacularly, but if it prints fine, we'll have another one of these, and then we'll have the arms almost complete as far as all the pieces need to be going. Also, I've made a start on the thighs. You may remember last week I said I modelled them. Well, I bit the bullet and I hired someone to 3D print the thigh parts for me. I double checked all the sizes, made sure they'd fit my legs plus into the skirt section, etc. Oh, by the way, here's the skirt section, here's part of the skirt section, so the thighs have to fit into there. I have to fit both my legs into here. You can't really see it. Anyway, yeah, so I started joining these two together and doing some sanding and filling. As a result, I bunged myself up. I think I've given myself some kind of chest infection. Anyway, no sanding for a bit. Anyway, so yeah, the thighs. I hired a chap, found him on Instagram. I will give him a shout out in next week's video or the week after, depending on what the results are like. But he seems like a decent guy. I know it's weird having to shell out quite a lot of money to get more 3D printing done, but I'm not satisfied with the performance of this, and a lot of that is down to my own newbiness, or whatever the word is, my inexperience with setting it up properly. It's printing, but it's not printing perfectly, and the amount of time and money I'm spending on extra filament, electricity, wastage, all this kind of stuff, I may as well just send the models to someone who has got their act together 3D printing wise, and they're going to do it for me. So that's kind of one headache less at the moment. Anyway, talking of sanding, Steve came back with the finished feet. Now they look patchy, but I kid you not, these are smooth as glass. They're absolutely lovely. I can't feel a single print line on these. They're amazing. Wow. I was kind of hoping he'd just leave all the filler on and leave it smooth, but he's actually give it a really fine sanding. So once this has got primer and a coat of silver, that'd be fantastic. The only detail that goes on here is on the front piece there, a square piece of ribbed black rubber matting goes onto there. So feet pretty much finished. Talking of ribbed rubber matting, it's ordered. It's ordered. It's on the way. Also came in the post was the lighting setup. I think I'll be talking about this a bit later on in this video, but this is a late night. I have made a mistake and a wire has come loose, so I've gone and asked Warren where it goes, so I think I know where it goes, so I'll try and repair that. It's a very delicate thing and it may have just come loose as I was unpacking all these millions of wires. Anyway, let's cut to a piece of footage that I shot earlier on in the week where I tell you more things that have arrived. So, what have we got? Okay, many things. Let's get this out of the way first. Brand new edition, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reprint, illustrated by Chris Riddell. His artwork is amazing. I've always loved his stuff. He's got a book on Amazon called Alienography, which is just hilarious. I'm just trying to find some sort of picture to show you. Oh, let's just show you the inside. Look at that. These crazy alien stuff. This is a pre-order, so it's just arrived from Amazon. Gotta love a bit of that. Anyway, moving right along. Lots of things. Firstly, a new pack of dolphin glaze, which is a squidgy fiberglass resin that you put over things to smooth them out, especially 3D printed things. So that's coming into play. That obviously comes with hardener. Does it really? Oh well, guess it does. Talking of hardener, 2 more hardeners for my friend Steve, who's obviously working on the feet. Yes, now, as you can see here, that's not just a decorative worktop, that is a piece of this. Anodized micro corrugated aluminium, or if you're from the States, aluminum. Oh, look at that, so nice. This is the stuff that Marvin has at certain parts all over his body. So this is a sample from one company, but while I was waiting for that sample, I found the company that does it in big sheets. This one sheet is big enough to do all the parts on Marvin. I have bought 2 sheets anyway because I wasn't going to take the risk of buying one and finding out that there's a bit missing. So I've got 2 sheets of this. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was about 30 quid a sheet, which sounds expensive, but for what it is and how hard it is to find nowadays, I mean, this stuff, they used to sell this in B&Q, or if you're in America, Home Depot. They used to sell this in B&Q in racks, but now they've kept all the stuff they normally do, all the pattern stuff and the stuff with holes in, but this stuff itself, the corrugated stuff, no longer exists. So I'm lucky I found a company that sells it in small enough sheets, you know, individually for people like me, rather than companies who need miles of it. So this will be actually sent off now to the laser cutting company, Grail Laser, who will be cutting out all the pieces that I need. So this is a 3D printed piece of one of the greeblies that goes either side of the chest unit. Where is the chest unit? Here it is. So Marvin's chest unit has these either side. This is made of the same corrugated stuff, as you'll see. Now Gavin printed this for me, did a nice job of sort of copying the corrugated style, but now I can get them laser cut out of this. I will be replacing them using this as a template along with all the other piece that Marvin needs. So they need no painting, no finishing, they're just, you cut them, that's it, job done. They're going to look amazing. As talking about the chest unit, like I said, I've still got to drill some holes in there for a speaker to let some sound through. from the voice kit. 3 holes need drilling in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes drilling in there, and then we'll have the holes ready for the lighting kit that came from, I keep saying this Tydirium model, it's actually Pteridium models. I know on Return of the Jedi the ship's called the Imperial Tydirium, but this company is Pteridium models, it says here. Pteridium models. And they have sent me this amazing kit, which I will be installing as soon as I get the rest of the holes drilled in the chest unit. What have we got left? A bump from the corrugated metal. Ah, yes, 3D printing. I bought myself yet another reel of printer filament because I've made a start on printing the forearms. This one I've had a while. This is the right forearm, the upper part of the forearm, joins onto the shoulders, I'll show you in a minute. And this two-tone piece is the left forearm. Couple of things to notice. A, top bit is white because I ran out of filament, and thank you to Dalek Decimus, who lives locally. He turned up with a reel of filament for me to finish this off. The other thing you'll notice is this weird line. And again, the usual cracks and splits, and the horrible curve across the bottom where it wouldn't stick to the base. Now this line is actually an offset. The whole thing shifted over by a millimetre and a half or something when I changed filaments. Really annoying, really annoying. My 3D printer is playing me up. It could be temperature, it could be all sorts of issues. I'm basically at the end of my tether with 3D printing, I am. I'm not expecting perfect pieces. This is far from perfect, but it's doable. There's a line there, see that line across the back here? I mean, that's going to have to be filled and smoothed out, much like the other things. But as long as I can get the basics, the basic parts, then, you know, I can put some work in. But I shouldn't have to put this much work into 3D printed pieces. You could argue that it's my fault that I haven't set my machine up properly, or I haven't maintained it properly. But it's becoming a pain. As soon as I finish printing stuff for Marvin, I'm selling the machine. Never let it darken my door again. I'll wait a few years for the technology to improve, and then maybe I'll get a new printer. So talking of 3D printed, I've been doing a lot of work on joining the upper and lower parts of the arms. So these are the upper arms now. I've got both of them connected together. On the inside, to start off with, I glued a lot of plastic shapes just to hold it together, and I've filled all the gaps, and you can see that horrible gap there. It's all from warpage. Instead of fitting together like a glove, it doesn't. So I've been using epoxy resin, 2-part resin, also known as araldite in this country, using tubes of it to fill it in because it dries and it's sticky and solid. It takes a long time to go off, but you can see it here. It's like white stuff, but it's sandable. It's very strong. I've given it a coat of primer just around the edges so I can see how much needs sanding. So this is all going to need smoothing off nicely. We're getting there. And this would be the right arm. So as you can see from that way, this is the top part of the forearm, and it hinges, his elbow bends like that. So we've got about 90 degrees. Obviously it's not going to be that noisy because it'll be held at a distance of like a little bit of clearance, so it bends nice and steady. Now I do have both of these done to a certain extent. Now I've got to go and set up the printer to print the bottom half of this, which basically this goes up to about there. And then you've got the bottom half, then it goes into a circle to fit the hand on. It's all model ready to go. I just hope to goodness my printer wants to behave and finish off for me. So yeah, that's what we're up to so far. And that's only, it's now Saturday morning. It's actually 2 in the morning on Saturday morning. So a lot of progress this week already. I will let you know. I will keep shooting stuff like this and edit it into this video, so you will see how much progress we're making this week alone since the last video. Okay, so as you can see, I'm hemorrhaging money on buying stuff and ordering stuff, and more things are coming in. So yeah, things are really sort of ramping up and taking speed, and like I said, only 12 weeks to go. Not a lot of show and tell at the moment. I am very worried, as always, that because Marvin is made of so many pieces, at some point something's not going to fit, or it's going to have to be redone completely. I mean, look at the arms, the shoulders are... This was the original shoulder piece, sorry, not shoulder piece, elbow piece, and that's tight. I'm scared that's going to crack, but that was really tight. I mean, I could have fit my arm into it, but I bit the bullet and said, you know what, scale it up, scale it up. So I ended up wasting 2 of these and the upper shoulder bits just because of size and comfort and convenience, etc. So this is the bigger one, obviously tons of room in there now for me. That's in the elbow. So yeah, I am worried that things may conk out, take a turn to the left, an unexpected turn, go pear-shaped or whatever. But this is the joy of cosplay and costuming, prop making, problem solving on the go. Every person who does costumes goes through this nightmare. Sometimes it goes perfectly, sometimes it goes completely mad, sometimes you just want to throw the thing out the window, sometimes you just want to give up, but you keep going until you know you can't do anymore. So, thanks for watching. I will catch you next week with 11 weeks to go, and we'll see how far we get in this following week now with more parts of the arms, etc, etc, and hopefully fixing the chest lights, mounting them into the chest unit, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. Anyway, with that said, see you next week. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe in the corners if you can, that'd be cool. And I will see you next week for more Marvin madness. Take care now. Bye bye then.